girl. He was every alpha male in a pathogenic dance full of thorns and shouted tales. Dull-minded, sharp-tongued, on a mission out to fail. Clowns in hell, hounds of hell, good moments found in flailed. They were a match made in Tartarus, star-crossed and scandalous. From intimate to militant, the barbs tossed were slanderous. Connection viscous but vicious, capricious and malicious. This is witnessed by their friends. Ringside seats took the vistas. Their household was a red flagistan, kakistocracy. Their roots of dysfunction cast the land mapped and awkwardly in an empire whose exports were blowdowns and crash outs. Battles for the last word turn absurd and vast bouts. They were a poison double helix wrapped around a cudgeled sequence. Top of the lung battle cries fly forth like troubled edicts. Maturity was long extinct, both lacked the skills to listen. Words were just a bludgeon, assumptions fired on all pistons. She was a snake in a friend group of snakes, their tablet glands stayed itching. Get-togethers proved to be vacuous, shallow, and distant. He was a real man who would explode in an instant. He bragged about his attributes to show how gay he isn't. She put down other women out of envy and spite. He put down other men and fantasized about fights. They spoke in insults and screams to see their language bleed colors. When they need a punching bag, they always had each other. Zero calm, all storm, quiet toothless, shunned and slayed. They argued empty-headed but always had a ton to say. When they finished, she lit up another cigarette and rubbed her stomach. The stress ball is just 3 months away. She was every mean girl, he was every alpha male in a pathogenic dance full of thorns and shouted tales. Dull-minded, sharp-tongued, on a mission out to fail. Clowns in hell, hounds of hell, good moments found and flailed. It was nearly every night that the child saw the drama that later led to meds and therapy. To absorb the trauma for the time being, they could only watch the pugnacious duets that were armed to the teeth and drummed baseless new threats. The child became a scapegoat. They ate every hate-soaked lace cord of childish rage that came from either snake's throat. When her Nick fits take hold, she showed the kid fury's peak. When he became incensed and bold, his insecurity surely leaked. The child was collateral in every nuclear meltdown. They learned the arts of repression, kept every new fear held down. She was emotionally unavailable, her style was ghost town. He was the same way and thought empathy was some wild new pronoun. Their love was always one with a honed array of conditions that were subject to rapid change. Thrown away or unwritten, all that was left of their relationship was a landscape of scorn, which involved blaming their child for daring to be born. Who also saw the venomous theater, every show best in silence. Pop songs in the background, the soundtrack of domestic violence. When she had a bad day, she was glad to blow her lid. Created a grid of abuse where the child served a bid. When he had a bad day at work, and it was often he couldn't wait to get home and take it out on the kid. Using this gave the impression the parents would never change. So when the child got older, their connection was severed, estranged. She was every mean girl, he was every alpha male in a pathogenic dance full of thorns and shouted tales. Dull-minded, sharp-tongued, on a mission out to fail. Clowns in hell, hounds of hell, good moments found and flailed. She was every mean girl, he was every alpha male in a pathogenic dance full of thorns and shouted tales. Dull-minded, sharp-tongued, on a mission out to fail. Clowns in hell, hounds of hell, good moments found and flailed. When the child was grown, they left the claws of the acid vice grips. No longer their pushover lambs, subject to sacrifices. The duplets forged new blades to fit their old hilts, with a sense of entitlement that prevented feelings of guilt. The idea they did anything wrong was met with a sneer. Complain of their problems of equally pernicious peers. Zero introspection, their thoughts the antithesis of turning gears. Burning years, being a parent that's all mouth and no ears. I did my best, she said, with crocodile tears. Her victimhood was the ersatz of an off-brand veneer. I raised them better than that, he said, with an emotionally bloody spear that can handle problems like an adult, he said, on his third beer. And time passes, they age and become more arrogant and bitter. A life of nothing learned, these two embarrassments just wither. A common story of two hearts generating maladjusted new sparks. Psychological rotgut and burned bridges covered in loose parts. Behind so many closed doors are open sores and spoken for. Hopeless wars fervently fought fruitlessly by broken forms, pretending to be the epitome of adulthood maturity. And the cycle repeats and repeats and repeats.